people are setting up their personal outreach campaigns with AI. For example, there's this particular person I know who started using Gappy for something that we had not designed it for, which was personalization of outreach emails that he was sending. So what he does is he asks Gappy to visit the person's LinkedIn profile, see if he has posted anything, if he has liked any particular posts, and then personalize the entire email, start with an opener, oh, your company has done this, it's an extraordinary thing. So
we are hearing a lot around responsible AI, but are businesses really adopting or at scale when we talk about
So there are two parts to it, okay? When you say about compliance, there is one part, is AI compliant to things? That's one thing. The other part is, how can AI help me with my compliance?
Right.
So can it help you with your compliance? That's a very open field, because compliance largely means bureaucracy, which slows things down over a period. It is necessary. There is nothing against it. It is necessary. But again, we know that compliance has become subjective because of the number of people involved in moving a file from one counter to another and moving one process from one to another, right? So subjectivity comes into the picture. AI can replace that subjectivity. It can bring in more objective answers to that, whether something fits or does not fit.
Right.
And today that decision making is probably 6 hours of meetings, 10 visits.
Right.
But that is, I would say, the infra of a nation, the way it works, has to evolve.
And welcome to Digital Native Nexus 2025, brought to you by the Mainstream, presented by Brio Technologies and Google Cloud. We are in Bengaluru witnessing the latest edition of this summit. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and I am joined by Mr. Prashant Chaudhary. He's the co-founder of GappyAl. Firstly, Prashant, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you.
Well, that being said, GappyAl, you have been leading the AI space from a leader's perspective. Can you tell us what is the most real-world impact of AI already that you have been observing?
Let's talk about something that is already widespread. Okay, something that you see at different stages. So, knowledge sourcing, depending on who is sourcing it,
right?
How you absorb knowledge, how you contain that knowledge, how do you gather it, that has changed entirely. So, for example, for a child today learning about a new course, he just has to write explain me like I'm 5 and then just start talking to an AI and it will explain it to him, right? For a business leader, let's say if I'm a marketing manager, if I'm a CMO, I have AI agents that know the platforms that store my data. So instead of hosting a morning huddle and asking one by one, what did you do, what did you do, what did you do? This was the norm, right? Until now. First 2 hours of information gathering happened like this. So instead of that, now I have an AI coworker and I can just ask that AI coworker that what are the top 3 metrics which have not been keeping steady.
Right.
And now this AI coworker will go through each and every dashboard, write code if it has to, gather that information and give you the final answer.
Right.
So these are the more widespread uses which are already seen as an adoption. Now comes the next layer of it. Are we seeing people act on it? That if you gathered intelligence directly from AI, implementation stage, that is where people are still on the fence about it. And I think maybe the pace that we are moving with 6 months down the line, the landscape is going to be very different. Today, people are setting up their personal outreach campaigns with AI. For example, there's this particular person I know who started using Gappy for something that we had not designed it for, which was personalization of outreach emails that he was sending. So what he does is he asks Gappy to visit the person's LinkedIn profile, see if he has posted anything, if he has liked any particular posts, and then personalize the entire email, start with an opener, oh, your company has done this, it's an extraordinary thing. So doing this at scale for 50 people in a single day used to be a tiresome activity, which was the knowledge gathering part, that you would go to each and every website, you would check. Now you're getting the final gist. Your message has been conveyed. So I say knowledge gathering, how we used to gather knowledge has changed. We are going to see more people talking to AI instead of going for a Google search. We are going to see more people talking to AI co-workers than going through dashboards and employees.
Wonderful. I think there is a huge, opportunity there as well. Right from, you quoted some examples as well. From your lens, Prashant, whether we are talking about tech, product, infra, or even compliance, what have been some of the biggest opportunities when we talk about digital native businesses in the next coming years?
So there are two types of things that are going to get disrupted. It really depends on what kind of team scale that you're thinking about.
Correct.
So let's say if you want to talk about products, building and iterating products has gotten very easy. So if you want to build a lean product, a simple app that tracks people's sleep, gives them recommendation on nutrition, such products, if your idea and the vision is that I want to operate a lean company with just 3 people, I want to build a product, I'm going to put it out there and let people use. That, if you have that vision, it is a great time to build products.
Right.
Because initially the cost of gathering that information and testing the prototype was very high. Today it's not there. But if you're talking about infra, then you better buckle up. Then you need to build now your basic infra. I mean, there's no point building something that is going to get redundant
Correct.
in 5 years down the line.
Right.
So if you're thinking about 20 years point of line, then commit deep. Go if you have a 20-year vision, iterate on it, then you can go for infra. But other than that, you should stick with product. If you want something lean, 6 months, 12 months, you want to do 2 different things, it's a golden period to iterate with products.
And when we talk about compliance, do you think that would still be an opportunity or a challenge? Because we are hearing a lot around responsible AI, but are businesses really adopting or at scale when we talk about?
So there are 2 parts to it. Okay, when you say about compliance, there is one part, is AI compliant to things? That's one thing. The other part is, how can AI help me with my compliance?
Right.
So can it help you with your compliance? That's a very open field, because compliance largely means bureaucracy, which slows things down.
Right.
Over a period. It is necessary. There is nothing against it. It is necessary. But again, we know that compliance has become subjective because of the number of people involved in moving a file from one counter to another and moving one process from one to another, right?
Correct.
So subjectivity comes into the picture.
Right.
AI can replace that subjectivity. It may bring in more objective answers to that, whether something fits or does not fit.
Right.
And today that decision making is probably 6 hours of meetings, 10 visits.
Right.
Right. But that is, I would say, the infra of a nation, the way it works, has to evolve. The DNA has to change. Only then can it help there.
Right.
Otherwise, until then, it can help you sort your documents.
Absolutely.
With respect to compliance, where
Right.
you were initially having a floor full of people going through all the
Right.
documents just to find nuances, and probably help with that. But as a nation, if you want to move forward, that compliance layer is very different. We have to think very differently. We don't have to think around, I need to digitize 100 forms
Right.
or 100 pages. If you
Right.
think like that, you're not thinking innovatively. You have to think around which of these pages are needed anymore with AI. Can
Right.
you take one signal, extrapolate the remaining 50? So I would say compliance is a opportunity for people who are building immediate solutions to it, but it's also an opportunity for an entire nation. How do you
Right.
change that? We have been talking about ease of business for a while, but I don't think
Nobody is really. Yes.
you take the 100 startups that register on any particular day and you ask their founders, do they understand the GST filings that they are doing? They
Right.
don't, because there's no easy answer to that. But with AI, I mean, a 5-year-old might be able to understand what taxes he is paying and why.
Right.
But that is not something that I can build or you can build. That is something that a nation will have to adopt.
Right.
So let's see. We are hopeful.
Fantastic. And again, with platforms like Digital Native Nexus, the summit, wherein the purpose lies around, having leaders from various verticals under one roof, discuss the opportunities, the priorities, and the challenges ahead. Do you think these platforms do shape a dialogue or help move the conversation forward?
Yes, totally. So one thing that happened today, very simple references of the roundtable conversations that go on. There are people representing very rigid industries,
Right.
which have been going on in a certain way, let's say life sciences, which have been going in a certain way for the past 50 years. So you have the same person on the table along with someone from Google, and that too from their AI team. So now there are 2 different sets of people coming from very different backgrounds.
Correct.
And they have come to a similar, very simple understanding of what we are going to talk about, and the points are concerned to that. So what this does is, for each one of them, it gives them a perspective into the other person. What is he concerned about?
Right.
What amazes him? What does not amaze him? What is it that he's looking for, the first person?
Correct.
So AI has been on the researchers' table for a while in order to take it again into the market. It doesn't matter if the person is not keen on AI. The conferences like this will shape the common dialogue at floors. It starts from here, then this particular same business leader takes those ideas, goes onto the office floors, talks about productivity around those lines, AI productivity. So I think it shapes from there. So yes, 2002, it was a period when we had
Right.
the dot-com thing, and
Yes.
this is how it grew, that people in their different seminars were hosting, and they were talking about things, and
Right.
that is how it reached the upper echelons of
Right.
enterprise. And now that is something we'll see here as well.
Absolutely, I think that is one of the vision and mission as well. But thank you so much, Prashant, for being so candid and incredibly insightful. Well, while we wrap up, I look forward to connect with you again.
Same here.
Thank you so much.